I think I had everything to do with this movie from inception to completion. So co-writer, director, executive producer.
I was the DP and also sound editor and engineer, I guess, sound editor and engineer.
Well, I am Rowdy. I am one of the co-writers for this film and everything. The idea originally came from, really did come from Mike, actually. One day we were, he and I have worked together on some projects before, we always kick around ideas and everything, and he came to me one day with an idea and, and told me what he wanted, really.
It started with the idea I had one late night in the middle of the week after my family's gone to sleep and I'm sitting on the couch, and a very good friend of mine, DeWitt, told me, because I always had this preconceived notion that to make a movie I have to find great writers and great producers and great DPs and which you do need all those things, but I never looked at myself as a writer. So DeWitt said, write, if it sucks, you don't have to share it with anybody, but you at least know then whether or not you can or can't.
And I just kind of breathed life into, into the characters, into the plot, and kind of just put it down on paper and put it into material form. So, it was really, a matter of developing scenes and characters and things like that rather than coming up with the idea originally for me.
I wrote it, gave it to Brad, he enhanced it, made it better, then I shared it with family and friends. And they're like, you need to make it. You need to see this through.
My role in the production was basically try to capture everything that was happening at the moment.
I was location manager, so for that day I made sure cast and crew knew where they were going to meet, what time, if there was a way that they needed to be let in, I let them in. And I was also in charge of Crafty, which I took care of food for each day for the cast and crew.
Well, on this production, I was part of the crew. So I helped with the equipment and the sound.
My part of the movie was I was like the main person that dealt with equipment and stuff. Like, I guess you kind of say the leader of the pack for crew.
So my role was makeup and hair and wardrobe for all of the cast.
Makeup is one of my things, and I've always enjoyed hair. So Kim needed some help, so I just offered to help.
Actually, I think what I did is I was more of a support person to help get people organized and get them put where they needed to be at the time that they needed to be there.
My role in the production was to support the cast. I was the driver, I was the setup person, I was the make sure everybody had what they needed.
A lot of stuff I do is I do video and I do audio engineering in a studio. So the only hiccup was it was a little different doing video for a movie opposed to just in studio. It was a little bit more tedious.
Well, first off, he told me he was going to have 6 people at my house to film one kitchen scene because his location fell through. He begged and begged. I said, fine. That Friday morning, it was damn 30 people.
It really puts everything into perspective on how much you actually do and go through just to make just a short film like that.
Stressful, tiring, and that's really all you can say about it. It was a weekend's work. It was good though.
And this experience was awesome. Man, we started out in Metro Atlanta, went down to Talbotton, went to a historic church. I've been knowing Mike for some years, about 16 years, and man, it's just an awesome event. We got to work with a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds.
Who are all these people? He said 6 at the most in 2 cars. It was 20 cars. Luckily, I had enough room for all those people. So they used my house to film the first scene.
The main character, we had, a lot of times he was distressed in the film, so we had to do like dark circles and messy, oily hair, like he hasn't bathed in a couple days, so that was probably the most interesting part.
Making this short film was nothing short of amazing. Once the script was written, I put together a crowdfunding campaign, and we just had an enormous amount of support from people that donated from $5 to $300 to $400, and people that donated locations or props or resources. A team of 25 volunteers that came together to make the film. We had a cast of 15 people. We shot 9 scenes, 7 locations in 3 days.
Everything above, anything he asked me to do, I've been helping him do. As far as marketing, press releasing, you know, just everything.
Some of the parts of it that, you know, you didn't realize took so much work. Like just in one scene, how many takes of the same scene have to take place in order to, you know, complete that scene and everything. That takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of just a lot. You have to have a lot of patience to to do it, because it's one of those things that just kind of you just don't think about how much work goes into it, you know.
For me, the most memorable part is just looking back and watching how it all came together and how everybody really just meshed together so well, and the teamwork was phenomenal.
The most memorable part was probably the church scene, because the drama that it like held for throughout the church, it just really captured it really good.
The most memorable part of this production for me was basically going into that, looking at that abandoned house at the crime scene, and thinking that a lot of horrors happened at that house. So when people see that scene, they're gonna see, it's gonna look very dramatic. The actors were on point. They mirrored the scenery. Something tragic happened there. It's just gonna draw people in. So that was one of the most memorable parts.
Hair and makeup pretty much took, you know, the whole time, because we'd run one and then that person would go film and then we'd get the next one in the chair and do them. So it was very hectic the whole time, trying to get everybody done. And then especially because we did it in 3 days. So that it just was very hectic the whole time.
No sleep and doing the weekends work, working with a team of people for the first time.
The fact that it was very close to me as far as the story goes, and then to see the overwhelming support from family, friends, and strangers it was an amazing experience. And even though filming a short film in 3 days is an amazing feat, it was really the collaboration of people that was the most incredible thing to me.
I love Mike. He's a good guy, and he's a dreamer, and he's got goals, and that's important, and I respect that completely, and I get his visions.
All of the people came together so well, it was like a family. Nobody really was familiar with that with anybody else from any long period of time. There's a couple, of course, but they operated and functioned as a group and as a family. And so therefore they are very concerned and very helpful with each other, which made the production run very smoothly, and it gave it a lot of high energy.
He's, you know, a guy that's just chasing his passion. And when you meet someone that's passionate like that, you know, they just kind of give you that positive energy. So I like positive energy. Both of us are like the positive energy forces, so we get along.
Great. It was great working with Mike. It's always great working with Mike. It's hectic at times, but he gets what he wants, and he's not going to stop until he gets it. So everyone's here to help it, make it happen for him. Just a little easier.
Working with Mike on this production was like being with Mike any other time. Mike is very high-strung. He knows what he wants, but everybody was willing to give him what he wanted because we all wanted to see him succeed.
He was a handful. He was a nervous wreck, honestly. But you know what? I mean, I can understand why. You know, he's fulfilling his lifelong dream.
Working with Mike, my dad, the director, it's a roller coaster of emotions. It's stressful. It's good.
I knew that this was something that he truly, truly felt. And this was not just something that he thought in his mind. It's a difference between having something in your mind and having it in your heart. And this is something that I know he had in his heart.
When you go through the writing process and developing a script and you start building the story bigger and bigger and you start to get an idea of how this person looks, the type of mannerisms they have. So when we went into casting and doing auditions for the film, we were able to pick out people that I felt looked like how I thought they looked in my head. And then as we went through that process, there was just very clear indications, like when Daniel came in and auditioned for the role of Peter, who is the lead character in the film. He was the first person to audition that day, and he set that bar so high no one else could come in. It was just like, as a director, I go with my gut. It's intuition. Like, he came in, he killed it. I was like, that's Peter.
Peter's going through a lot in the film. He experiences a lot of loss in a very short amount of time, and he just has to find a way of coping with it. And his way of coping with it just is not your conventional way of coping with something like that, I guess. But really, in a situation like that, what is, the traditional way of coping? Everyone copes differently.
Kyla was absolutely amazing. This was her first film, her first time outside of doing stage work in high school. This was her first time like on a real movie set.
I played a girl named Rachel. She's 12 years old, and she's has a smart kind of mouth, I guess, but she's very funny and stuff.
For her to come in and hang with these professional actors and stand toe-to-toe performance-wise, I think that says a lot about her performance, because that's not an easy thing to go and blend in with seasoned talent.
Working with Michael on the film was awesome. I mean, it was a great experience. He's very laid back, very open to suggestions, and I was easily able to collaborate with him, which is always nice.
He's a really cool person to get along with and stuff, and talk to, and he's very easy and outgoing. So it's easy to talk to him if you don't feel like that part is right or something. So he's very cool.
Oh, Michael is the type of person, he's hands-on, and he strives for perfection. So it has to be done a particular, specific way, and if it's not, he's gonna let you know, and we're gonna do it again until we get it right.
And then it's just man, sometimes I just wanna hit him. I really do.
So it was very hectic. The other things are hectic too, like weddings and stuff, because you're on timelines, but that's just a day. This was just literally back to back to back, 3 days. It was I think probably that whole weekend we only slept 8 hours the whole entire weekend, because it was just morning to night. Lay down for a couple hours, get up morning to night, lay down a couple hours. So needless to say, I think that Monday I was just done, exhausted, but it was fun. It's very interesting to see how all that goes behind the scenes.
The thing that was interesting to me was to see such young, creative individuals come together to put their time and their talents together to create a movie.
Honestly, from my point of view, beLIEf is not just a movie. It's something that we all live every day. Because we all wonder, whether you're atheist, whether you're Christian, Catholic, Muslim, Buddhist, whatever it is, you wonder, what do I really believe? And then you wonder if Muslim faith is right, you wonder if the Christianity faith is right, you wonder if, even as an atheist, do I really not believe in anything? And it sounds funny, but it's true.
The best part about making the movie was just being able to be creative with my friend and us collabing and just, really stretching our gifts or our abilities to make this happen, because this is the biggest project that both of us have done,
To be able to support them and watch them and help them in any way that I could, but also to experience their creativity it was a joy.
There was a scene that said, and I'm paraphrasing, but he was would God allow something like this to happen? If God is real, will he allow something like this to happen? And that was so powerful to me, because honestly, I asked that a lot.
Mike doesn't accomplish it just for Mike. Mike accomplishes it for everybody that's involved. He likes to see people happy. He likes his family to be happy. He likes his wife to be happy. He likes his children to be happy. But in his goals and the people that he works with, his goal is that not only is he successful, but that everybody's successful. So it's not just a one avenue or a one drive just for himself, it's a drive for everybody.
I would describe this movie as exciting. It's a story that, you know, follows a guy in his life that he's reaching his nearest end. You know, he's depressed, he's sad. It just follows his darkest moments.
I do think Peter, Peter's character Daniel did an excellent job with Peter and everything, because it really is kind of it isn't an easy thing to, you know, run the gamut of emotions that he's exposed to in the film, his character and everything.
I pushed him into such a wide range of emotions, from happy, depressed, sad, angry, violent, and you know, it'd be asking him to do one thing here and then flip it, you know, an hour later and be something else.
The hardest part for me was definitely getting to where he is and feeling that and living that in the moment, you know.
They all lit up the screen, I think. You know, even some of our, you know, smaller parts, like, you know, our priest, you know, Bradley did that part and everything, and I thought that was, I thought he did excellent with it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give anything away, but I will tell you it's riveting, it's powerful. It's about choices, it's about belief, it's about restoration and transformation. I'm not gonna give anything away. Mr. Mueller is not about to have my neck.
Imagine losing everything you ever loved. The air is cold. The house is quiet. The flood of memories from a previous life of happiness consume your mind. How far would you go to understand why?
I feel like God is punishing me for that now. Maybe not. All I know is that He has the answers as to why this is all happening.
What lengths would you go to for closure?
So you think that they're in a better place now? They no longer feel the pains of this world? And we don't need to understand why. We just need to know that God's plan is perfect.
Would you be willing to go to the point of no return?
Do you know what I would give to see my Amy, to see my Rachel one more time?
beLIEf, a Michael Mueller film.
It's very heartwarming to see that many people get behind a crazy passion and dream and cheer you on and push you forward to the finish line. So it's definitely the people that is the most amazing thing about this process.
The thing that was really important was the camaraderie with everybody who came together to put this film together. You know what I mean? It wasn't about money. It wasn't about, you know, trying to be seen.
I think a lot of people walk around and question their faith, and things happen outside of our control that may invoke your emotions for you to question whether or not there is a God or whatever you believe in for that matter. And I think this just kind of touch into another part of a person's soul with what happens in the movie and just the background in it.
Why you need to come see this movie is really great. You can actually tie something into your life to yourself by watching this movie, and it's also, you got good lessons in it.
It has a very touching storyline. It can reach out to anybody, and the actors and the work that went into it for a short film is beyond phenomenal to me.
It's showing you something that people may not be comfortable with. And it's not guided in one way or another. but it provokes a feeling and makes you question things just by living through Peter. I think everybody should go and see the film just to see what asking those questions would be like, or hopefully someone will get something out of it and go out there and experience something similar to what he's learning through his life at these moments.
The story, first of all, I mean, it's an incredible story. Secondly, the work that was put into it, it would be a shame if nobody saw it, you know. It's a lot of people that helped and contributed to making this be the best it could be.
I think people should come and see this movie because it was done with an amazing cast and crew. The story is good, it was filmed good, and just to have people support you good also. And it just turned out like really good.
I mean, it was a lot of fun, and I honestly wish Mike and Brad the best, and I hope that it really works out for them and that it's the way it was supposed to be.
I just want to say that I'm very proud. I've known Mike for many years, and I'm very proud to watch his dreams come true.
I can't wait to do it again. I really cannot wait to do this again, do another experience, create more memories, more friends. I'm ready for the next one.
Something about that energy that he has, it just flowed through everybody, and the synergy was just there. And hey man, we in the course of a weekend, we put together a project that was awesome. And Michael, he has to get a lot of kudos for that. He directed it, he gave direction. It was just an awesome experience.
Life deals us with a lot of experiences, some good and some bad. The thing is that experiences teach us a lot of lessons. And the film beLIEf is about a lot of challenges that we face, some more than others, during our lifetime, and how far those challenges will push us to what our belief really is in life. And I think it makes you stop and really analyze what is life. What's the true meaning of life? And the political turmoils that we have going on now and everything that's going on, it's just people are getting angry, people are getting divisive, and I don't think that's a good thing for any country, much less our own country. And I feel for all countries who are going through this. So what beLIEf said to me is life easy? No. No, life's not easy. But life is a teacher. And if you learn the lessons, there's so much you can teach so many others.
I really hope everyone just sees this movie and takes it at face value and enjoys it and shares it with friends. A lot of people in entertainment do things for money and do things for alternative motives, and this project was from the heart, from not just, it started with mine and it went into everybody involved with it. They put a ton of blood, sweat, and tears into it, and they should all be incredibly proud of the final project.